So he went and preached to the ones that were in hell. These were the ones that were disobedient to Noah, and they were preached to. Remember what happens in Matthew chapter 27, verses 50 to 53. Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost, and behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. So we'll try to break this down a little wee bit, what's going on. He says to the thief at the cross, "This day thou shalt be with me in paradise." Well, he is with him in paradise. But paradise is in the heart of the earth, and of Christ, because Christ is everlasting, is from everlasting to everlasting. Paradise at that juncture was in the heart of the earth. He descended first into the lower parts of the earth. For as Jonas was 3 days and three nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. So he goes and he preaches unto the spirits in prison, the unjustified ones. The thief at the cross is with him in paradise. He's being comforted at that juncture. But remember, Christ hasn't yet ascended. It's going to take 3 days and 3 nights before he ascends up out of the earth. And then he is going to be in a position where he cannot be touched by any human hands, because he has yet to ascend into the holy place made without hands, and he is yet to purge the heavenly tabernacle, and that domain, as we know, will be rolled up as a scroll, and is only temporary, and there will be forthcoming a new domain. Behold, I go and prepare a place for you, that where I am, there ye may be also. He's talking about a place of rest, a permanent rest. It's a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. 1 Peter chapter 3, Revelation chapter 21. And that paradise is going to be a permanent paradise, but that paradise was translated from the earthly domain in the heart of the earth. After his resurrection, the saints are raised, and then he leads captivity captive, and he takes those justified saints and he moves them into the paradise of God, which is where it is now. It's going to be a intermediate temporary domain. That intermediate temporary domain will be one day rolled up as a scroll. After that program is complete, there's going to be an earthly kingdom, and then there's going to be a new kingdom, a new heaven and a new earth that will descend down from God out of heaven after the millennial reign. The 1,000-year reign of Christ will have fulfilled its course, and we then go to the great white throne judgment. Everything will be tallied out in terms of judgment. The parties who will be separated from God will be cast forever in the lake of fire, where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, where the smoke of their torment descendeth up forever and ever. And then everyone else who's justified will enter into that new heaven and that new earth wherein dwells righteousness. And of course, that's an eternal paradise. It's an eternal existence that will never be defiled. For sake of recap now, Christ descended first into the lower parts of the earth. Abraham's bosom and hell were in that domain. There was a gulf fixed between them. He preached unto the spirits in prison. As Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in a whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. He ascends up. After his ascension, the justified ones that were in Abraham's bosom are resurrected, and they were eyewitnessed among others there. Matthew chapter 27, verses 50 to 53. No one can touch Christ after his resurrection, because he had not yet ascended into the heavenly tabernacle and purged that heavenly tabernacle with better sacrifices than the Old Testament. After he ascends into heaven, when he comes back and presents himself, he invites them to touch him, and then he leads captivity captive. He took all those souls after his resurrection and he moved them into the intermediate domain that will one day be rolled up as a scroll. So I hope that helped qualify a few things. I know there's a lot of details in there that probably need a little more discussion, but at least we've got a sketch as concerning how those things have played out. I hope that made a little clearer for you. So Kelsey and Boyd, thank you for your inquiry, and I thank you folks for coming here tonight, and you folks have a very good evening. Have a good night.